All right, Bears Nation, let's get into it. Got a second Bears video for you today. So as you all know, about 2 years ago, there's always been talks about building a new stadium for the Chicago Bears. It's been talked since about around 2021. Obviously, Soldier Field is not in the greatest of shapes right now. There's been talks about just remodeling Soldier Field and adding to it and revamping it. But they don't want to do that. The Chicago Bears franchise wants to build a whole new stadium. And talks ramped up in 2023 when the Bears hired Kevin Warren as their president. And they hired him January 12th of 2023. And he was brought in solely to help build a new stadium. Now, if you know who Kevin Warren is, he helped one of the Big Ten teams build their stadium. He was a main factor in helping get the Minnesota to build the U.S. Bank Stadium, which if you've been to U.S. Bank Stadium or seen pictures, you know how nice of a stadium that is. So he was brought in for the Bears to oversee the building of a new stadium. And here we are almost 3 years later. We are here 3 years later. No stadium done in sight, no deal done, nothing. Now we did buy, Bears franchise bought Arlington Heights. The goal was to move there. They had everything in place. But the only thing the Bears franchise wanted the lawmakers in the city of Chicago to do was pay for some of the outside infrastructure, like repaving the roads, redoing the roads, helping build the parking lot, helping build more space for tailgating and all that. Well, the lawmakers and the people in Congress in the city of Chicago said no. Well, then it came about, Gary, Indiana threw their name in the hat for wanting to move the Bears to Gary, Indiana. If you don't know anything about that, obviously Gary, Indiana is a suburb of Chicago. It's about a 30-minute drive from where Soldier Field is now. From where Soldier Field is, it's about a 30-minute drive from Soldier Field to Gary, Indiana, which is technically it's about 25 miles east south. Gary, Indiana is about 25 miles. Gary, Indiana is about 25 Gary, Indiana is about 25. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get out. I stutter sometimes. I got some issues with talking sometimes. But Gary, Indiana is 25 miles southeast of the greater Chicagoland area. So Gary, Indiana is a suburb of Chicago. Where Soldier Field's at right now, to drive from Soldier Field to Gary, Indiana would be about a 30-minute drive depending on traffic. But anyways, even lately, Roger Goodell was there. Gary, Indiana does have a bill pass where they could bring a professional sports team there. Roger Goodell and Ryan Poles and the Bears front office were all there recently looking at sites for a stadium. Recently, Roger Goodell and the Bears organization were in Gary, Indiana with some of the Gary, Indiana government officials looking at sites for a new stadium for the Chicago Bears. So it is getting a real possibility the Bears are actually kind of going to have to move out of Chicago. Now, all of a sudden, the Chicago lawmakers and the government officials are saying, wait a minute, we want to help out. And the reason for this is because a couple of them are throwing their name in the hat for presidency next year, in a couple of years, and also for more bigger roles within the Senate and the government where they'd have to, obviously they wouldn't be based in Chicago. They'd be in the White House or up in the Capitol. So, yeah, that's not a good look when you won't help the one team in your city that makes the most money for you. It's no secret that the Bears organization is the biggest seller of tickets, merchandise, everything you can think of that goes with sports in the city of Chicago. The Bears are the number one team there. So it's not a good look when you don't want to help your number one team build a new stadium. Now it came out about early last week or the week? Yeah, it was about early last week. Now the talk was that Iowa has thrown their name in the hat and wants to bring a professional sports team to. Now Iowa has now it came out about early last week. I think it was about 2 weeks ago now. Middle of the week, about 2 weeks ago now, and it became a more bigger thing last week that that the state of Iowa, which is where I live, has now thrown their name in the hat to bring an NFL team to Iowa, and that team is the Chicago Bears. Now, obviously, if you bring the Chicago Bears to Iowa, you can't no longer call them the Chicago Bears. They'd more than likely be called the Iowa Bears or something, which sucks because if you have Chicago Bears stuff, you'd have to buy all new gear because obviously that gear doesn't work no more. But the thing is, I'm not worried about this at all because this is stupid. Like, there's no way in any lifetime that the Chicago Bears are going to move to Iowa. I'm not saying that an NFL team couldn't put an NFL team in Iowa. It could happen, and I can see it happening down the road somewhere. Depending on how bad they want to push it, I can see a team getting built for the Iowa. I can see an NFL team, expansion team, getting built for, getting put together here in Iowa, but it ain't going to be the Bears. So Bears fans, we have nothing to worry about. This ain't happening. But yeah, the threat is there that the Bears could move to Iowa, which obviously is not going to happen. But anyways, guys, as always, Iowa, I love you. You're my state. You're my home state. I love you. But you cannot have the Chicago Bears. You just can't. And it's not going to happen. There's no way. As Vince McMahon seems like for WWE, you say there's no chance in HE double hockey sticks. There's no chance in HE double hockey sticks that the Bears are moving to Iowa. But anyways, guys, hopefully we get a deal done soon with the Bears. I don't care at this point. I just want a new stadium deal done and getting ready to build this stadium so we can move, because obviously the Bears team this year had a good year with Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson's a guy. I think we got the right quarterback. We got the right things in place to be very good for a long time. So let's just get the stadium deal done and get it built. I don't care. Build that shit in the build a new Bears stadium in the middle of freaking nowhere in Chicago. Who cares? Just build a stadium. Let's get it done. Find some abandoned farmland and build it there. Who cares? Let's just get it done. Anyways, go Bears. As always, bear down, go Chicago Bears.